Government takes major step in preparation for Fort James Renaissance Park. Multidimensional Vulnerability Index set to feature prominently in discussions at the upcoming Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Antigua. Government increases head tax for airline passengers to provide a more sustainable funding arrangement for sub-regional institutions such as ECA. And Antigua and Barbuda earns a major nomination in the World Culinary Awards. Those are the major stories this evening. The news in detail starts right now.
The local evening news is brought to you by Nagico, local agents Bryson's Insurance.
This is Friday's edition of the ABS Evening News on air and online. Good evening. My name is Garfield Burford. A special welcome to those joining us on our various virtual platforms.
Good evening. My name is Nicola Barreto. Thank you so much for joining us as well. As per the norm, let's dive right into it. A major step has been taken as part of preparations to transform one of the country's iconic beaches into the Fort James Renaissance Park, Garfield.
Indeed, and as you join us at the top of this broadcast, Cabinet has engaged a company to carry out a coastal assessment and preliminary engineering design as the project promises to revolutionize tourism and entertainment offerings in that area.
Alicia George has our top story this evening.
A comprehensive coastal assessment and preliminary engineering design is set to be carried out at Fort James, coming just 2 weeks after government announced plans to transform the site into the Fort James Renaissance Park. The project will tackle years of shoreline erosion at the popular site. The study will examine how the coastline is changing, looking closely at erosion patterns, sand movement, wave activity, and sea currents. It will also factor in the impacts of climate change and rising sea levels. The government says the goal is to ensure that any future development is not only visually appealing, but also safe, sustainable, and able to withstand long-term environmental pressures. As part of the work, engineers will also develop early design options for beach restoration and coastal protection. These concepts will form the technical backbone of the wider redevelopment plan. Regional engineering firm Smith Warner International has been engaged as lead consultant. The company will carry out detailed modeling of coastal processes and provide recommendations to shape the final design. The multi-million-dollar investment will transform Fort James into a modern recreational and tourism hub while preserving its natural and historical character. The project will be rolled out in phases, with all major decisions guided by scientific and engineering evidence. Alicia George for ABS News.
Alicia, thanks. And in more tourism-related news, the government has approved a major new tourism development at Yeptons, structured as a state-owned strategic investment project with public-private participation, similar to the arrangement used in the Jolly Beach Social Security model. The project will deliver a new beachfront hotel on approximately 15 acres of prime coastal land, with ownership retained under the state through government and statutory entities. Now, the Director General for Communications in the Prime Minister's Office, Maurice Merchant, well, he says the model mirrors the approach used in other strategic national assets, where public institutions take an equity stake in tourism developments to ensure long-term national returns. Take a listen.
Would the investment by those state-owned enterprises mean similar to what happens with Social Security and Jolly Beach, that the development will be assets of those state-owned bodies?
You are correct.
Okay, all right.
Well, the development model is centered on greater local ownership and control of key hospitality assets. According to Merchant, the project is deliberately designed to ensure that ownership of tourism assets remains within Antigua and Barbuda, rather than being fully transferred to external hotel chains or foreign investors.
Cabinet believes that these investments will represent a transformative approach to economic development, combining public resources, private capital, and citizenship by investment program funding to build nationally owned assets that will generate long-term economic returns.
More details now. Under the approved framework, the government and state-owned institutions are expected to invest up to 40 million EC dollars alongside 20 million EC dollars already committed by a local investor, with additional support expected through the Citizenship by Investment Program, the CIP. Now, as Antigua and Barbuda prepares to host the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting CHOGM this November, a senior Commonwealth official says one of the major priorities will be improving access to financing for vulnerable countries. Well, the Multidimensional Vulnerability Index, the MVI, co-created by Prime Minister the Right Honourable Gaston Brown, is set to feature prominently in those discussions during CHOGM. Well, the senior official of the Commonwealth Secretariat spoke with us exclusively from London, England this week, as our Shanakisha Francis reports.
For many small island states, accessing affordable financing remains a major challenge. Despite facing frequent threats from hurricanes, climate change, and economic shocks, countries such as Antigua and Barbuda are often classified as too wealthy to qualify for certain forms of concessional funding. That issue is expected to feature prominently when leaders gather for CHOGM 2026.
And we want to make sure that that is embraced even more, that there are more facilities and instruments that are really talking to multidimensional vulnerability, to make sure that seeds and indeed small states in general are really being supported in ways that are sustainable, so that their economies cannot just get wiped out within a single goal, but that mechanisms are in place for them to access financing long-term and financing that is sustainable in that regard.
Commonwealth Secretariat's Head of Economic Policy and Small States, Dr. Thomas Montali, says CHOGM 2026 will give small states an opportunity to showcase successful initiatives and learn from one another.
I think they should be very excited, because oftentimes the challenge is that small states are doing their part, and they are doing very initiatives that are really worthwhile, that are making impact. We just had released the Small States Bulletin this year, and you'll be shocked at how much small states are really doing stuff. And so what we're saying is, can we then move that into scaling it up, but at the same time making sure that there's peer-to-peer learning.
He also says technical support provided through Commonwealth programs has helped the country strengthen its capacity to access international climate financing.
And we know countries like Antigua and Barbuda have already managed to access more than 10 million over 2017-2023, and they're accessing more because of the technical expertise that we've placed within their institutions to help them in mobilizing resources.
Shanakisha Francis, ABS News.
Thank you so much, Shanakisha. In other news, for travelers flying in and out of Antigua and Barbuda, the price of a ticket is about to edge higher. Well, that's because the government has approved an increase in the passenger head tax from $40 to $50 per international passenger. The increase was approved by Cabinet this week, while Maurice Merchant, Director General of Communications in the Office of the Prime Minister, says the additional revenue generated by the increase will be used to help the country's financial obligations to the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority and the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court.
In approving the measure, Cabinet noted that Antigua and Barbuda continues to benefit significantly from the services provided by these institutions and must therefore contribute its fair share towards their operation and sustainability.
The revised passenger head tax is expected to take effect once the necessary legislative and administrative processes have been completed. Further details, including the implementation date, are expected to be announced in the coming weeks. Antigua and Barbuda says it will continue defending its Citizenship by Investment program amid ongoing concerns from the European Union. Director General of Communications, Maurice Merchant, says the issue has been raised at the level of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States as member states work to respond collectively to European scrutiny.
Even though the majority of governments would have changed legislation to meet with the concerns of the European Union and other countries, and unfortunately they persist. And so governments can only continue, including Antigua and Barbuda, to highlight publicly and officially to the European Union and their varying countries what countries have been doing.
Countries operating citizenship by investment programs could lose visa-free access to 29 Schengen states, while CIP remains a major source of development funding across the Eastern Caribbean, helping to finance infrastructure, tourism, and other national projects. But officials acknowledge the model is under pressure and say governments are now planning for greater economic diversification in the long term.
Competition means that other countries are going to try to outbid other countries in terms of what they are offering and in terms of the prices. And so the government recognizes that while this is an important sector to the economy of Antigua and Barbuda, it is cognizant that at some point that the programs may not exist.
A developing story now. The Agriculture Minister, Honorable Anthony Smith Jr., has spearheaded efforts to secure a $9 million grant that will strengthen the country's agricultural and water security systems. The latest this evening is that the funding provided through the Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB, and the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations will support the construction of dams, water catchment ponds, and other key water storage infrastructure across the country. Meanwhile, here's more, because the government says the project is designed to improve irrigation capacity for farmers, particularly during periods of drought and prolonged dry spells, while also reducing the nation's dependence on desalination for agricultural use. The initiative is also expected to strengthen long-term food security by improving the reliability and availability of water for farming activities. Several sites have already been identified for the development of dams and larger water storage systems. In related news, OECS leaders who met in Antigua this week have agreed to pursue a coordinated regional strategy to tackle rising food prices and ease the cost of living across the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. The agreement follows high-level discussions of the OECS Authority, where the heads of government acknowledge that food security challenges must now be addressed through stronger regional cooperation. Prime Minister Brown recently took over the chairmanship of the OECS Authority for the period of a year. Elisha George has the latest this evening.
The agreement follows high-level discussions of the OECS Authority, where heads of government acknowledge that food security challenges must now be addressed through stronger regional cooperation. Under the plan, member states will work to expand trade links, targeting markets in South America, Panama, and the Dominican Republic, in a bid to secure cheaper imports and improve food availability. It's a plan that the Gaston Brown-led government has already put into action.
He is pushing for this to be expanded and become a part of the OECS strategy in relieving the burdens being faced by basically all countries within CARICOM at this time.
Leaders are also considering adjustments to the CARICOM Common External Tariff, including the possible temporary suspension of selected duties. The move would allow participating states to import essential goods at lower cost, helping to ease pressure on consumers.
Very soon, we will announce that various officials of the government will be dispatched to these varying countries, these different countries, to commence discussions on how the collaboration can be advanced.
The initiatives bring the islands closer to strengthening resilience and reducing the impact of global price pressures on households across the OECS. Meantime, leaders are left to mull over how to make transporting these items more affordable. Prime Minister Brown has suggested establishing OECS Air. He has proposed using unclaimed bank deposits as a potential funding source for this initiative, with approximately $60 million identified for this purpose. Brown will oversee all these recommendations in his position as chairman of the OECS Authority. Elisha George for ABS News.
Thank you so much, Elisha. Cabinet is awaiting further discussions with the Minister of Education before finalizing a policy decision on the number of CXC subjects that will be funded by the government at both the CSEC and CAPE levels. We can tell you this, that the issue has already been discussed at Cabinet level, and a decision has been taken in principle to introduce a cap. The decision is driven by concerns that funding very large numbers of subjects per student, at times up to 20 subjects, is not financially sustainable. However, government says the final structure of the policy will only be confirmed after Minister of Education, the Honorable Darrell Matthew, brings further recommendations back to Cabinet. A public announcement will follow once that process is completed.
Well, the country's new Junior Minister of Tourism has been chosen. Janika Adams of the Antigua-Barbuda College of Advanced Studies, AMCAS, emerged victorious in the 2026 National Tourism Youth Congress on Thursday, earning the right to represent Antigua and Barbuda at the regional competition in Guyana this October. Shanakisha Francis has her reactions.
Antigua and Barbuda has a new Junior Minister of Tourism. Janika Adams of the Antigua and Barbuda College of Advanced Studies outperformed 7 other students to claim the title at the 2026 National Tourism Youth Congress. The competition challenged participants to present solutions to some of the tourism industry's most pressing issues, including sustainable destination management and tourism innovation.
The National Tourism Youth Congress also serves as the national selection platform for Antigua and Barbuda's Junior Minister of Tourism, who will represent our country at the Caribbean Tourism Organization's Regional Tourism Youth Congress in October 2026. This opportunity allows one of our young ambassadors to showcase not only their talent and knowledge, but also the innovation and potential of Antigua and Barbuda's youth on a regional stage.
Adams stood out with a presentation focused on using social media to promote responsible travel, reduce over-tourism, and highlight lesser-known destinations across Antigua and Barbuda. She also successfully navigated the competition's mystery question round, where contestants were given just 1 minute to prepare their responses.
As Junior Minister of Tourism, I believe Antigua and Barbuda can transform its music, film, and entertainment industries into powerful drivers of tourism. The pathway to this strategy lies in 3 bold strategies: celebrating our culture, amplifying our story, and empowering our creatives.
First runner-up went to Pete Charles of the Sir Norval Richards Academy, while Soleil Williams of Antigua Grammar School claimed second runner-up. Judges praised the high standard of this year's competition and the depth of knowledge displayed by the students.
We were very impressed to see the knowledge that each of you have brought to the table in terms of what you've learned through the Ministry of Tourism, and also through social media, and also through the innovations that we do through the movies, the music, the carnivals, and all the music presentations that we do perform here in Antigua.
As winner, Adams will represent Antigua and Barbuda at the Caribbean Tourism Organization's Regional Tourism Youth Congress in Georgetown, Guyana, from October 5th to 9th. The program is designed to develop future tourism leaders, with many past participants going on to careers in tourism, government, law, communications, and international relations. Shanakisha Francis, ABS News.
Let's stay with the story because Tourism Minister Honorable Charles Fernandez has congratulated Adams on her victory, describing her as an exceptional ambassador for Antigua and Barbuda and encouraging her to approach the regional competition with confidence. Congratulations to all indeed.
Staying with our tourism product, Antigua and Barbuda has earned a nomination as the Caribbean's Best Emerging Culinary City Destination 2026 in the World Culinary Awards. The Tourism Authority says the Caribbean's Best Emerging Culinary City Destination 2026 nomination places Antigua and Barbuda among destinations recognized by the World Culinary Awards for their growing culinary appeal and their commitment to culinary excellence Renaissance, innovation, and authentic food experiences. It highlights locations that are successfully using food as a key driver of tourism, attracting global travelers who seek unique and culturally rich dining experiences. This follows Antigua and Barbuda's success in the same category in 2025 and further solidifies Antigua and Barbuda's position as a culinary hotspot to watch.
A developing story now as the death toll tops 900 after the back-to-back earthquakes in Venezuela on Wednesday. Antiguans and Barbudans say they are saddened by the circumstances facing the South American nation, which is a close ally of Antigua and Barbuda. We saw their reactions on the streets of St. John's today. Here's what they told us.
It's a great loss, and my heart goes out to the people there. What makes it worse is the position that I see Venezuela in, the destabilization of the government, and it's not really a country right now that have the resources, have the resources and the means to actually build back.
But I feel like in a moment like this, we need to all pause as humans and see what can be done to support Venezuela.
In my opinion, the whole Caribbean should come together to assist in whatever way possible. Nothing is too small.
It happened to any one of us, and my heart goes out to them and the family. I have some Venezuelan working at Western Oil. I reach out to them and let them know that prayers are with them, and we just hope that they pull through this situation.
Well, the back-to-back earthquakes on Wednesday evening killed at least 900 people. The death toll expected to rise into the thousands. There are several thousand individuals who are missing. In fact, up to 50,000 individuals who are said to be missing at this point. The U.S. Geological Survey says a magnitude 7.2 earthquake hit around about 100 miles west of the capital, Caracas, followed in less than a minute by a magnitude 7.5 tremor. So far, Venezuelan officials say about 140 aftershocks have since been recorded. We'll follow the story in our regional segment a bit later on. Nicola.
As the government prepares to launch the Barbuda Land Registry and begin issuing $1 land titles, Barbudans are being urged to gather and safeguard any evidence that supports their long-standing connection to the land. The advice comes from King's Counsel Leslie Thomas, who is part of the Barbuda Council's legal team. He says residents should not sign any land-related documents without first seeking legal advice.
Proof of your farming, your grazing, your business use, your repairs, your improvements. Write down the names of neighbours who can support your family history. Even if the paper is old or fragile, don't throw it away. Photograph it or scan it and try to keep originals safe. Secondly, and this matters, if you have no papers at all, do not think that you do not have rights. Living on the land, using it, family history, a right to graze can all count.
The senior attorney also encouraged residents to monitor public notices relating to land matters, saying missing deadlines or overlooking official notices could affect future legal proceedings. He also cautioned them about social media posts that could cause undue harm to live cases.
I'm not going to predict who's going to win, because I don't think you can predict who's going to win. This is litigation. What I want you to be mindful of is please do not criticize the courts or judges. Please do not attack the lawyers on the other side. And please do not post legal arguments on social media while these matters are still live. That sort of conduct can hurt your case or even your neighbour's case.
The advice formed part of a legal awareness session hosted by the Barbuda Council and its legal team, which provided updates on several ongoing court cases involving land rights and development on the island. While the guidance follows last month's cabinet announcement approving the establishment of the Barbuda Land Registry, with government saying the land adjudication process is nearing completion ahead of an expected launch by the end of August. Cabinet has also confirmed plans to begin selling parcels of land to Barbudans for $1, arguing the initiative will provide formal legal ownership through registered land titles. Garfield?
Indeed, we're now going across to the Twin Island Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, where the 28th edition of the St. Kitts Music Festival kicked off with a bang on Thursday night at Warner Park. Festival officials say it was the biggest opening night in terms of attendance in the 30 years of the festival. Now, some of the region's biggest names in soca entertained a packed crowd until the early hours of this morning. Here are some of the highlights as covered by our Terry Andrew and Stephen Mullings.
Over the crowd, when we start to jump on the count of 3, get ready to jump. 1, get ready to jump. 1. Fed up, no one know I'm fighting for no man. I'm fed up, let's all just stay. I told you all, I'm fed up. Yo, they say you're only as good as your last performance. We rode long, but we have endurance. Stamina make we last for weeks.
And it's dance hall and reggae night there at the St. Kitts Music Festival. It's expected to be headlined by American singer and songwriter Kelani, along with Mavado, Idonia, Skipper, with the legendary Steel Pulse. Also on the lineup are Cranium, Valiant, and Massacre. All right, turning our attention to programming now, because coming up right after the news ends, it'll be the beginning of Carnival Countdown, and we are, of course, taking you right up to the Caribbean's greatest summer festival, Antigua's Carnival, which starts in just under a month. Carnival Countdown starts at 8 this evening. There's a packed lineup of artists of various ages. Let's have a look. You can't afford to miss it. Coming up at 8 this evening, the studio is already prepared, and the tunes will be riveting. Nicola, I'm not an Orange Economy person, but I figure that you'll enjoy this one.
And I'm pretty sure you will if you stick around, Garfield.
We'll consider it. We'll have a discussion about it. And here's another programming note as well. Be sure to join us next Monday, the 29th of June, for another riveting edition of Antigua Barbuda Today. Some of the guests you'll be hearing from are on your screen. The program starts at 6, ends at 9. Entertaining as well as edifying. The best way to start your day is AB Today. When we come back, we'll turn our attention to more of the stories that we're closely following for you this evening, including this one.
Well, we can tell you that the INET pop-up shop created the perfect outlet today for over a dozen local vendors to display their products and services. So we'll tell you all about that and more. And Garfield, what's coming up in sport? I know World Cup fever, cricket fever.
There's a lot to talk about in sports, certainly. One of the stories that we'll tell you about is, of course, the West Indies batting in the first innings at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, the first test against Sri Lanka. West Indies making quite a fist of it. They are just over 30 runs adrift on first innings. A strong batting performance by Amir Jango, of course, following what happened yesterday with Dhananjaya De Silva leading the way for his side. Dhananjaya De Silva, the captain of Sri Lanka, making a century. Let's see whether or not they can be a century on the West Indies side as well. Amir Jango is well on his way. He's actually on a half century and doing quite well. With him, the captain, Austin Chase. We'll keep you across that, plus all the latest on the World Cup as well. All ahead in sports. But first, the break. Ahead of more national news, please tell us, please.
At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like knowing you're covered when your house gets a flood, getting your settlements quickly and fairly when a fire hits your home, and making sure your business can keep going even after an accident happens on site. At Nagico, We're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
Welcome to Hadid Dental Clinic, where your oral health and beautiful smile are our top priority. We utilize state-of-the-art technology, like advanced panoramic X-rays, for precise diagnostics. Our experienced team is dedicated to providing comprehensive dental care, from routine checkups and restorative procedures to enhancing your smile with professional teeth whitening. At Hadid Dental, we embrace innovation, like advanced intraoral scanning for accurate digital impressions, ensuring the highest quality and efficiency in your treatment. Whether it's complex procedures or detailed imaging, our commitment is to your lasting oral health. Hadid Dental Clinic. Your smile, our priority. Visit us today.
Every day starts somewhere. At home, with family, with the things that matters most. With the right brands that put smiles on faces. And when the day takes you up and about, to relax, to celebrate, to enjoy time with friends, you bring that care with you, from everyday essentials to moments worth celebrating. Anjo Wholesale, delivering quality products since 1890 for every moment.
ACB, drive to 70. With ACB, we know BYD SUV.
It's been 70 years, let's celebrate.
Our legacy strong, our future's great, yeah, yeah.
Every loan, every tap that you do brings that BYD SUV closer to you.
Drive to 70, let we celebrate. ACB strong, the future great. Drive to 70, keep the body alive. Come with our SUV and take the champion drive.
Every loan you take, every tap you make.
Yes, each one gives you more chances to win.
The prize? A brand new BYD SUV.
70 years strong, take a victory ride. Drive to 70, keep the body alive. Come with our SUV and take the champion drive.
Terms and conditions apply.
The place so hot, Jack. I can't take this heat. Please, just do something about it. I can't take it anymore. It's not even summer yet.
He knew exactly what to do, because when the heat is this disrespectful, you don't just need a fan, you need a plan. He headed straight to Mikasa Imports, the home of media cooling, for our sleek 12,000 DTU to the heavy-hitting 24,000 and 36,000 BTU models. Starting as low as $18.99, Mikasa has the perfect fit for every room. For a limited time, you get free installation with your purchase. Professional, fast, and zero hassle.
Hey, baby. I got the 36,000 BTU just for you, baby.
Oh, that sounds big.
I know you like it big.
I do.
Later that night.
Baby, what's wrong?
It's too cold.
Too cold?
Lock off the AC. It's too cold.
Yeah, but you said bigger is better.
Not this time.
Thank you so much for staying with us. More national developments now. INET's pop-up shop. Tongue twister again, so let's get that right. INET's pop-up shop with the local vendors created a buzz of excitement today along a section of Market Street in St. John's.
Indeed, Nicola, you did quite well. The tongue twister there, it was a part of the company's launch of its summer promotion. Our Falana Johnston was there. Take a look.
Crochet products, jewelry, and drinks are just a few of the products that were on sale during INET's pop-up shop with local entrepreneurs. The company says this is a routine initiative aimed at providing a boost to local businesses.
At some point in the year, every year, we always give a chance for our local vendors. It's a free, it's a free chance. They didn't have to pay to come, just to be able to come out and sell their products and wares to the general public. Because we're a local brand, and bringing local companies with us is always a big thing for us.
Some of the business operators told us about their main goal at the event.
I've had this business for 5 years,
started during COVID, and what I want to achieve today is better promotion for my business so that other persons know what all I sell.
And we have it on 7 different platforms, so anybody looking for work can have everything all in one centralized space, and it's thousands of persons that are already on the way.
To provide something different to persons, or we do provide things for male and female, but mainly female, so I'm providing something different for the females, the girly girls.
What I'm here to achieve today is to more let the public know that drinking healthy and eating healthy is all about life. You know, if you put in something in your stomach, it's best to put something, the best thing that you can put, right?
Falana Johnson, ABS News.
Thank you so much, Falana. Well, we're going to have to take it down a few notches because Antigua and Barbuda's only male centenarian, Denzel O'Brien Cummins of Seaview Farm, has died at the age of 101. He died on Thursday evening, days after being among the special group of citizens honored by officials during this year's Centenarian Week celebrations. Governor General, His Excellency Sir Rodney Williams, and Director of the Community Development and Citizens Engagement Division, Dale O'Brien, were among officials who participated in the Centenarian Week outreach activities. The Ministry of Social and Urban Transformation has expressed condolences to his loved ones and the Seaview Farm community. Residents are reflecting on the man who touched many lives and inspired those around him. Cummins was born September 17, 1924. 101. Well done.
Yes, indeed. May his memory be a blessing. And of course, he touched so many lives indeed. All right, that's where we take a sort of a look at national developments. Up next, the weather report and forecast. How is your weekend weather looking? Jaleel Jacobs joins us, and Jaleel will tell us what you can expect, whether it's the dust or the moisture. About that continuing contretemps in the atmosphere. Good evening to you, Jaleel.
Good evening, Jaleel.
Well, good evening to you, Garfield, and good evening to you, Nicola, and the rest of Antigua and Barbuda. Well, we may have a mixed bag of dust and moisture, but I'll tell you more when we get back from the break.
The weather report is brought to you by Leeward Islands Hurricane Protection.
When the skies are clear and the winds are calm, we often forget how unpredictable Mother Nature can be. But when a hurricane strikes, it's the strength of your home that matters most. Whether you are preparing for your first storm or looking to upgrade your current protection, Leeward Islands Hurricane Protection has got you covered. Our expert team handles everything from custom design to professional installation, ensuring your home is as strong as it is beautiful. Call today for a free consultation. Leeward Islands Hurricane Protection, built strong to weather any storm.
Thank you for staying with us. And first, just take a right away look at our satellite picture on the outside. And as you can see here, not much in the way of clouds across Antigua and Barbuda and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean at this time. And if you notice, this shaded area right about here is moving on out. That would be the dust that has been affecting us over the last few days. And in this particular region here, where we're looking at these lots of mass of clouds, this is actually that next tropical wave that's about to move into the area late tomorrow afternoon into Sunday and then Monday, followed by another round of Saharan dust just emerging off of the coast of Africa. So again, as I mentioned before, we're looking at a mixed bag of conditions. Now, over the next 24 hours, we're expecting this dust to continue moving out. We've had quite good air quality today, and we expect that to move on to continue into tomorrow. And this tropical wave is what we're going to watch to see just how much moisture and rain we're going to get from this tropical wave. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. First, tonight we're looking at a 60% chance of showers, and now some moisture is embedded in that wind flow. And so we're looking at the winds out of the east at 7 to 16 miles per hour. So winds have decreased from early in the week where we had some gusty conditions. Low temperature tonight of 25 degrees Celsius or 77 degrees Fahrenheit. I look at tomorrow, a 40% chance of showers, partly cloudy skies. High temperature tomorrow, 32 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Our winds will remain out of the east at 7 to 16 miles per hour. We're looking at pretty uniform winds going into the weekend. Our sunrise tomorrow at 5:36 a.m., while the sun will set at 6:45 p.m. Now look at our 4-day forecast. As I mentioned before, a mixed bag of conditions. 40% tomorrow. However, on Sunday, we're looking at a showers, periods of showers, on and off showers on Sunday, mostly in the afternoon into Sunday night. Then we got a 60% chance of morning showers on Monday as that wave moves out of the area. And then when that wave leaves, we go down to a 20% chance of showers where we'll see that dust start coming in again. And so reduced air quality will be from around Tuesday. As I said, our winds are pretty uniform out of the east at 7 to 60 miles per hour. So pretty calm winds this week. High temperature, 32 degrees Celsius, 31 and 32 for the rest of the weekend into the next week. 25 degrees, 23 degrees on Sunday night. As that rain moves in, we could have some low temperatures there. We're looking at 4 to 6 feet waves throughout the weekend into next week. And again, that is indicative of our low wind speeds, and so marine conditions are fine. There are no cautions, advisories, or warnings at this time. But as I always say, whenever you're using the seas, always remain vigilant. And our tip for tonight, for the hurricane season, we are 26 days into the hurricane season. And so we're looking at our tips for tonight is to prepare early, stay informed, act quickly, and stay safe. Preparedness is everyone's responsibility. And that's it for me tonight. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you so much.
So Jalil, the cricketers have to be mindful that possibly there could be some interruptions at the first test at Sir Vivian Richards Stadium on Sunday into Monday, right?
Yes, we're looking at some increase in moisture, so there could be some on and off showers on Sunday, and then that will continue to Monday morning. So as the weekend goes on, the forecast will continue to update everyone on the conditions.
Jalil, I'm not too sure if you're aware of it, but they say every time cricket is a harbinger of rain here in this country, that aphorism seems to be spot on this time as well.
And sometimes it helps, sometimes it hinders. Let's see what it does if that happens this weekend.
All right, we shall see what happens. Fingers crossed, I suppose. Jalil Jacobs, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Jalil and his colleagues at the Met Office always ensure that we are the place for timely, incredible updates on your forecast, whatever the vicissitudes of the weather, and whether or not the aphorism that cricket brings rain, whether or not that holds or not. When we come back, we'll turn our attention to news overseas. One of the stories that we're tracking closely comes to us from Venezuela. More details as the death toll continues to rise. Authorities say it is now over 900, over 3,000 people injured, tens of thousands unaccounted for. We'll have an update on the grim situation in Venezuela and the assistance that's flooding in from other countries as well. Stay with us.
And internationally, let's tell you this. The U.S. strikes Iran targets following an attack on a cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz. All of that and more coming up right after the break. Regional and international. Stay with us.
Reporting live from Caribbean Union Bank's press conference, where bank representatives will address its customers and the media, explaining just how CUB simplifies life through its financing.
Today, my team and I will share with you how CUB's financial solutions are designed to simplify your life. Now, let's open the floor for any questions that you may have.
How can you help me as a retiree?
That's a good question. We offer customized retirement solutions at competitive rates.
How easy is it for me to switch my mortgage to CUB?
With attractive interest rates and minimal switching fees, CUB makes switching mortgages easy.
Do you offer point-of-sale machines?
Absolutely. All point-of-sale systems can speed up checkout and boost sales.
Those were great questions, and our team is here to further support you. We're Caribbean Union Bank, the bank that cares, and our doors are open to welcome you.
Welcome back. Regional developments now. More than 900 people have been killed and 3,360 others injured in Venezuela's earthquakes, according to the government, as rescuers keep searching for survivors and families wait desperately for news. The injured are being treated in makeshift medical facilities after dozens of buildings in the country's north were destroyed by the two quakes, including in the capital, Caracas. A senior government official said hundreds of international rescue workers have arrived in the country, with more on the way. We have more in this report from Reuters.
Rescue efforts continue across Venezuela on Thursday as hundreds remain trapped under rubble, with many still unaccounted for. The devastation follows twin earthquakes that struck the day before in and around the capital, Caracas. The U.S. Geological Survey says the toll is likely to rise into the thousands. Venezuela's health minister on Thursday said more than 230 dead have been received by medical centers. He did not give a total number of casualties. Officials earlier said hundreds of people remain trapped, with around 250 buildings damaged or destroyed. The quakes hit a country already strained by years of economic turmoil, leaving infrastructure fragile, while aftershocks complicate rescue efforts. One man recalled how he was pulled out alive.
I was in the building for 4 hours until I was rescued by someone from the civil defense, or I'm not sure. They didn't have many tools. They couldn't find the chisel, the drill, the grinder. They went at it with their nails. I also helped because they passed me a tool. And it saved me because I had a lot of furniture in my home that protected me from the wall.
Interim President Delcy Rodriguez visited La Guaira State, one of the hardest hit areas.
We have requested international assistance. The first rescuers arriving from the Dominican Republic are about to land.
Major rescue efforts there. Now in Trinidad and Tobago, Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander has expressed solidarity with the people of Venezuela following the 2 devastating earthquakes. We have more from TTT News.
First of all, on behalf of the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, we send our prayers to the people of Venezuela at this time. And what is strange enough, at the beginning of me sitting on the chair, but again I always ask God for, not for lighter burdens, but for broader shoulders to carry them.
Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander says Trinidad and Tobago stands ready to assist Venezuela based on whatever request for assistance is received.
As we speak, there's a meeting taking place with the Foreign Affairs Ministry. So then after that, we'll be able to know what direction we take it. The most important thing is sometimes a country is what they request that you can offer. That's important. So we wait to see what is the request, if any at all, and then we will move forward from there.
That's a quick look at regional developments, all the happenings right now in Venezuela. When we come back, we take a look at international developments. Stay with us.
Right now, I'm comfortable. Because with the iNet Smart Home app, I don't have to worry about my home Wi-Fi network. From right here, I can see who's on my Wi-Fi, change my password at any time, set parental controls to ensure my children aren't scrolling when they should be studying, and even create a guest Wi-Fi network for my visiting friends. At home, backstage, and overseas, I have control and peace of mind. With one thumb, one phone, one app. The iNet Smart Home app. Your Wi-Fi, your way.
Welcome back. International news now. The U.S. military has conducted strikes on Iranian targets after President Donald Trump accused Iran of, quote, a foolish violation, end quote, of its truce following an attack on a cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz. No casualties were reported when the ship was struck by a one-way attack drone on Thursday, an incident that prompted a planned evacuation of thousands of sailors stuck in the region. Well, they actually halted that. In response, the Central Command, or CENTCOM, said on Friday it had struck missile and drone storage facilities and coastal radar positions. There has been no comment yet from Iran. President Donald Trump spoke with reporters earlier today. Here's a look.
I don't like the fact that they took a shot yesterday, actually 4, we knocked down 3, at a ship. Not an Allied ship, but a ship, a very expensive ship, and it was fine, but it took a little beating. They shouldn't be doing that, so you'll find out.
Will the U.S.
You'll find out.
Will the U.S. respond? What is your message to Iran?
Respond, you're going to find out.
Sir, why do you think they did that if the talks, you've said repeatedly they're going well? What do you think the motivation is for Iran in attacking a ship?
They're a little bit different. That's why I think of it. 47 years, no president did what we're doing. So You just asked a question, you'll find out.
Meanwhile, Secretary of State Marco Rubio joined Israel and Lebanon's ambassadors to the U.S. on Friday to announce a framework agreement that was described as a first step toward peace following months of conflict between Israel and the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah. Here's more from the Associated Press.
The people of Lebanon have suffered tremendously now for decades as a result of outside interference in their affairs, of countries trying to use the country as a launch pad for attacks. And this is not what the people of Lebanon want, and that's not what they deserve. What they deserve to have is what they once had, and of which there is recent history of, and that is a prosperous and peaceful country. And it will take a lot of work and some time to get back to that point. But we believe today is the first step in that journey. And the first step is sometimes the hardest step, but it's the one we're taking together today. Obviously, the people of Israel deserve to live in peace and security. The people of northern Israel in particular, who have been targeted repeatedly by terrorist attacks launched from the territory of Lebanon, but not by the Lebanese people, not by the Lebanese government, but by an outside actor.
Well, Europe and Canada have launched one of the largest military exercises in the Arctic, deploying around 30,000 troops across Norway in a show of NATO's readiness to defend its northern frontier. As we hear from Reuters.
In Arctic Norway, British and Norwegian soldiers are on a simulated NATO reconnaissance mission. They're among some 30,000 troops who rehearsed a counterattack against an invading enemy to the east, meaning neighbouring Russia.
The main purpose is the deterrence, so the Russian will wake up in the morning and say that this day is not a good day to attack NATO.
It's part of a stepped-up mission called Arctic Sentry, to show not just Moscow but also Washington that Europe and Canada can defend the alliance's northern flank. Secretary-General Mark Rutte announced it in February.
We're negotiating right now for Greenland.
As he lobbied US President Donald Trump to drop his designs on Greenland, which Trump said the US needed for its security. Rutte succeeded, but as Reuters found in interviews with dozens of current and former NATO officials and Arctic experts, NATO has work to do on Arctic defence, where Russia has raced ahead in the past decade.
All right, two test matches happening at the same time. One here in Antigua, one in Britain as well, at Trent Bridge. We'll keep you across those two. Plus, of course, we're tracking the FIFA World Cup. The final matches in the group stage are on in earnest. And France, Le Bleu, looking quite imperious today against a pretty strong side, Norway. We'll tell you about all that coming up next.
Thanks. The FIFA World Cup is coming, and all eyes are on Lamine Yamal.
You like it?
From the richness of the Caribbean soil,
fresh, pure, naturally powerful.
from wholesome roots to irresistible crunch. Made for your kitchen, your business,
your lifestyle.
Export quality, Caribbean grown.
Crispa, real Caribbean, real flavor. Available now.
Welcome back. Time now for a look at the sporting developments. Let's start with cricket. West Indies are trailing Sri Lanka by 37 runs on first innings at stumps on day 2 of the first test at Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in North Sound. The latest is that Amir Django has led the way with an undefeated half-century, while captain Roston Chase was with him on 42 as West Indies reached 271 for 5 at the close, replying to the 308 all-out made by Sri Lanka in their first innings. Earlier, openers John Campbell and Brandon King made 39 and 31 respectively. Asitha Fernando and Milan Ratnayaka have so far taken 2 wickets apiece. In Sri Lanka's innings yesterday, captain Dhananjaya de Silva led from the front, compiling a century of 120 of 168 balls with 17 boundaries. Live ball-by-ball commentary coming your way on ABS Radio 90.5 FM starting at 9:45 each morning. And as you heard from Jalil earlier, there could be some interruption from the rain, possibly on Sunday as well. Meanwhile, hosts England are 223 for 2 in the reply to New Zealand's 438 in the third test at Trent Bridge. Day 2 stumps on day 2 now. The England innings has so far been led by an attacking century by opener Ben Duckett, making 113 off 99 balls with 19 boundaries. Jacob Bethel on 74 and Joe Root on 21 saw England to stumps on day 2, trailing by 215 runs on first innings. Earlier, England captain Ben Stokes took 4 for 70 as New Zealand collapsed from the security of 317 for no loss to 438 all out. We're tracking a developing story in relation to cycling. The call for motorists to consider cyclists continues as the late Andre Simon's brother, Dwayne Simon, points out issues that have come up with last week's hit-and-run accident. As we hear from more, Philana Johnson.
While national cyclist Tajay Brown received minor injuries after being hit by a car last Saturday, the video of the accident widely shared on social media continues to impact the country. The latest comments come from the late Andre Simon's brother, Dwayne Simon, who says it was heart-wrenching.
I watched that video an unhealthy amount of times because it brought back memories as to what happened to my brother. I know Tajay personally. We've been hosting the Andre Simon Memorial Race for 2 years now. I feel it for him and for the family, and it's terrifying. And I don't know what's scarier, seeing the accident happen or seeing the despair that the public has, that the cycling community has, that you're not quite sure what justice would look like.
Simon points out this can be discouraging for those who aspire to be or are a part of the sport because of the fear that they may be next. He also says it leads to questions about the protection of cyclists. Simon addressed the Fatal Accidents Bill 2026, pointing out the need to spread awareness.
We need just a bit more sensitization as to what that particularly means, and to let persons know that that is not the only avenue in terms of justice and recouping the resources that you need for therapy and all of that, because sometimes you can have an accident and you're not able to work anymore.
Updates to this bill included the deceased family being awarded damages of up to $20,000 and the driver's license being suspended immediately once it is clear dangerous or reckless driving led to loss of life. He also suggested dialogue such as a public forum with key stakeholders.
Because the persons that should have probably one of the biggest say in terms of those particular crimes is the Cycling Fraternity Transport Board and the public. So bringing them to the table, having them be a part of the process along the way would help the public feel more at ease when those types of information are made public.
Philana Johnson, ABS Sports.
Thanks so much, Philana. And of course, we'll keep across that coverage, of course, of the national trials taking place over the weekend on ABS Sports on Saturday and Sunday. Very quickly now, 2 individuals from Antigua and Barbuda are participating, from the Chess Federation, are participating and performing creditably well in Peru for the world record chess marathon. They are candidate master Abner Farquhar and Joshua Solomon. And the very latest on the chess is that after 9 rounds, Abner is on 5 points and is now 85th out of 395 participants. Joshua on 4 points is now 138th of 395 participants or players. They are ranked quite creditably as well in Peru. So that's taking place as we speak. The very latest now on the FIFA World Cup action today as the final matches in the group stage come to a close. As we look forward to the knockout stage, the round of 32, when you advance, you lose, you go home. Well, today, a rather impressive performance from France, 4-1 victors over Norway today. Goals coming from Le Bleu, showing that they're ending the group stage on a high. An imperious performance from Le Bleu. France 4, Norway 1. Senegal 5-0 winners over Iraq, so strong performance there as well. We'll follow that and we'll keep you across the other matches which are to come a bit later on this evening. More matches, simultaneous matches to come, because at 8 o'clock, in another 2 minutes or so, there will be Uruguay taking on Spain, a massive encounter, Cape Verde taking on Saudi Arabia, and at 11 tonight, it will be New Zealand, Belgium, Egypt, Iran. So far, 4-1 France over Norway, Senegal 5-0 winners over Iraq. That is in Group I. Group H, Uruguay, Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Group G, New Zealand, Belgium, Egypt, Iran. Nicola, a lot happening in the wonderful world of sports. So much more to come over the weekend, but we're getting ready for Carnival Countdown, so that's where we end our broadcast this evening. Back over to you.
And of course, this is where we wrap it up this evening. Carnival Countdown, the artists are here, the crew, the set, the lights, the action, the music. So have a great night. Stay with us right here on ABS Television.
And as a result, no news at 10, so enjoy Carnival Countdown as we get ready for the Caribbean's greatest summer festival. ABS is unmissable next.